Welcome to episode 11 of Celtic Sagas and Lore. I am your host, Martin Vaughan Watkin. Now, in this episode, I'd like to cover, in inverted commas, fairy artefacts. Now, these are items of a magical nature that have been left to us and still survive to this day. Now, obviously, these are very rare items, but there are a few of them. Now, the one we've covered already is the cures left to us by the Lady of the Lake to her sons, the physicians of Maddfai, which we covered in an earlier episode. The other one is Celtic Norse crystals, which are found throughout the South Wales Valley area, and were given to us by the Fairy King for his help with the battle with the bear, the Welsh hero Gerwyn. But in this story, I'd like to cover the fairy flag of the Clan MacLeod. Now, the story goes, up in the Isle of Skye, there is that's where the clan was gathered at the time, and legend goes there was a handsome chieftain of the MacLeods, and he fell in love with a fairy princess, one of the Shining People as they are known. And she fell in love with him as well, and she went to her father for permission to marry. But he refused, saying that he would break his daughter's heart as her husband would grow old and die, and she would live forever. But moved by her tears, the king eventually agreed that on one condition: at the end of a year and a day, she must return forever to the fairy folk. The happy couple had a wonderful ceremony and were married, and within a year a bonny son was born to them. Alas, as the year and the day passed too quickly, and the time came for her to keep her promise and return to her father. But before the princess left, she hugged her son and husband for the last time, and made the chieftain promise he would never allow his young son to be left alone and to cry, and she would hear his cries even far away in the fairy realm under the hills. The chief of the MacLeods was heartbroken after his beautiful wife left, and his time of his sadness grew. Finally, his friends organised a birthday party for him, a great feast to cheer him up. There was singing and dancing, and the pipers played and the harpers played. Soon the chieftain began to enjoy himself. There was so much music and laughter that the baby's nursemaid slipped out of the nursery to watch the fun for the top of the stairs. But the young baby woke and began to cry, and the nursemaid, she didn't hear him crying. When the nursemaid did return, she was surprised to see a beautiful woman wrap the baby in a shawl and singing to him softly. The nursemaid knew she would never forget such a beautiful tune. When the baby stopped crying, the woman put him gently back in his cradle, kissed him, and vanished in the night. As the king's son grew, he told his father the night his mother had visited. He said the shawl was magic and it could be used by the MacLeods when they were in great danger to summon the fairy knights to their side. The flag should only be used 3 times. The chief immediately ordered a special casket to be made to hold the fairy flag, so he was carried with them at all times. Hundreds of years later, time of great danger, an enemy clan of MacLeods raided the island one Sunday, and they attacked the MacLeod church and set it afire, killing the people praying inside. The angry MacLeod warriors, left were hopelessly outnumbered. They gathered the beach and unfurled the fairy flag. Magically, the band seemed to grow 10 times, and there was a great battle. Eventually they vanished the foe. They ran off and they never returned, and the flag was replaced back in its casket. Many years later, another terrible event happened. This time a plague swept the island. The castle and the sheep lay dying. Faced with utter famine, the MacLeods waved the flag once more, and the fairy rose out, touched the animals with their swords. Immediately the cattle and sheep became healthy once again, and the clan was saved from starvation. The flag has not been used for a 3rd time, but said that during the Second World War, when the threat of invasion was its greatest, the clan of the MacLeods offered to bring the fairy flag to the White Cliffs of Dover. We don't know what Churchill thought of this generous offer, but also during the Battle of Britain, small fragments were cut off and given to the Spitfire pilots, who all survived. Now, these are great stories, and obviously the flag has been waved for a third time yet. It's very reminiscent of the King Arthur story with the return again in the greatest danger. But you can actually visit the castle of MacLeod's in Skye, and the flag actually can be viewed, and it's very much along the lines of a very revered item along the lines of the Shroud, and it can be visited. Now, the other item I mentioned were Celtic Norse crystals. Now, these are black shiny crystals that are carbon based, and they are very similar to obsidian, but where that is silicon based, these are carbon based. Now, these stones are said to have great magical properties, and are unlike other crystals where one crystal does a certain job. These are like a Swiss Army crystal, and they can be charged with whatever healing or magical properties, whichever you use. They are quite strange items, and are quite beautiful as well. Many crafters use them in jewellery, as they can be worked very similar to obsidian. Now, their geological properties are very similar to anthracite coal, which is also found in the area, and the crystals themselves are a black shiny, and they look like at some time they were very heated and became melted. So the theory is that at some point they went down through over eons and melted, and then obviously came back up to the surface, and they are found along water courses, mainly mountain streams and the beginnings of rivers in the valley area. Now, the legend goes that there was a great hero called Gerwen, who was a chieftain of the area. And one day he was out hunting, and he came round a corner and he heard a great roar and a scream. He came round a corner, and there was a bear leaned up by a waterfall glen, and there was a young girl cowering that had been picking flowers. The bear was about to strike. Gerwen, with a mighty roar, hurled his spear and pierced the bear's heart. And with that, a great, handsome, if you think of the characters from the elves from Lord of the Rings, you can get the general picture, emerged from the falls. And Gerwen had saved the daughter of the chieftain of the Fae, and in his gratitude he gave Meibion a Gerwen, or the sons of Gerwen, these great crystals that can be used. And like I said, if you want to find them, I'll leave details on the site. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and hope to see you in episode 12. If you've liked the page and subscribed to the site, that's great. If you were not, you are more than welcome to do so. If you could share the page on the YouTube, this post on the YouTube channel, that'd be great. Thanks. Hope to see you again in episode 12. Thanks for listening.